So, I've thought really hard the past little while, the past couple days, and especially today, of why I picked this specific topic I wanted to put this live video on for. The whole not good enough. The reason being is because it hits a specific or a special place in one of my heartstrings. Because I believe that this is something that we all struggle with. Every single one of us. There isn't one person out there that doesn't struggle with feeling like they're not good enough, or at least one point in time in their life being told they're not good enough. Hey Margot, it sucks having that feeling, but it's the truth. We all have that, whether we want to hide it or be honest about it. And the reason why I wanted to share that is because I know I'm not the only one that struggles with feeling that he's not good enough or I'm not good enough. And I want to throw that question out there. How many of you have struggled with that specific feeling? How many of you are struggling with feeling like you're not good enough, or maybe not being enough, maybe because you were told that as a kid, experiences you went through that formed some sort of identity and it isn't true? I had an experience I wanted to share, and it happened over the weekend. What it did is it brought back some old feelings, some old triggers from past experiences that I had. And what had happened this past week is I ran into someone that had told me something once that really hurt. That really actually quite pissed me off. And I allowed it to fester and kind of bring me down a bit to where I felt defeated. And what the specific person had said was something along these lines of, I need to find someone that has more of a merciful disposition towards me. When I first heard that, I became furious, because I understand what that means, at least in the context in which it was shared. And what it was is basically saying that I need to have someone give me mercy for whatever my past was that had nothing to do with them, in a sense that they're too good or don't have the capacity to give me forgiveness that's not even required, because, well, they're too good for me. So that whole meaning, when I ran into this person again, came back and it kind of flooded into my mind, and it kind of took over my whole being, or I allowed it to the point to where I started to let it drag me down and get very depressed, because this trigger that was sparked by an event that brought back old emotions that came about through an experience as a child, I let it start to bring me down, and then I was able to actually step back and kind of look at it from a different angle. And this is because of a lot of help that I've received lately, and a lot of things I've been going through with transformational experiences myself, being able to step back and look at the reason why I'm feeling a certain way and what's triggering it. And I was able to step back and, instead of hold it in like a normal would, because normally something like that, when I run into it, I would let it derail me in years past. I would let it control me to the point where it almost destroyed me. And I didn't want to have that happen. So I knew immediately what I needed to do was kind of step back and share whatever pain I was feeling with someone or a friend that I knew could understand me, that I could trust. And so as I was sharing that specific pain I was feeling that was triggered by an experience with someone I trusted, I found myself begin to be able to see myself for where I am and pull myself out of that situation. Instead of in a mindset of reaction, I was able to pull myself and put it in a place of action and take control, not so much of everything around me, but just control of how I acted in this situation. And what I learned when I was applying this, the lesson I learned is, you have to be willing to experience the pain. You have to be willing then to share the pain in order to experience the opposite, or in a sense, step into the light. Because the more we hide and fester what is bothering us, the more we try to bury it down below to keep it secret or hidden, because we're not supposed to share what's bothering us or our emotions, because maybe it makes us look less of a man or a woman or an adult. The more I realized I was able to experience the opposite of pain, and that was joy. See, what I realized in this situation, in this moment, is that in order to experience the light, you have to experience and understand the dark and embrace it. And the moment you can embrace and understand what's in the dark, see, the dark is only scary because you don't know it. You don't know what's inside of it because you can't really see anything. But once you can actually step into it and allow it to, in a sense, kind of take its place, the more you can understand it and appreciate it for what it is and its purpose, which in a sense is kind of like to help mold you into something better, so when you step into the light, you're more of a better person and a stronger individual. That's what I learned in this whole situation. And I come to an understanding that not good enough, that whole idea that was embedded into my brain from childhood to when I was 29 is nothing but a bullshit lie. But in order for me to figure out, I had to go into the dark. I had to experience it. I had to accept it. I had to embrace it. And then I had to share it. And then by sharing it, that allowed me to step into the light. And I had much more appreciation, which is the beautiful thing about it. So I guess what I'm trying to say, and I want to share with you guys, is don't be afraid of stepping into the dark and understanding it, and then sharing what that is with others. Because the moment you do that, the more you understand it, the more you understand yourself, the more you're able to build upon it. I love something that Jordan Peterson says, and that is, really, we're all capable of great harm as well as great good. Anyone who thinks they're harmless is full of crap. It's putting on a facade. But in order for us to grow, we have to understand that we're capable of both great good things and great bad things. But it's once we step into the dark and then into the light, and we understand that we're capable of both, then we can actually make the choice to go for what is better for our future, and that is the good. So what I want you guys to do, if this resonates with you, if this is something that speaks to you and it makes sense, hopefully it's making sense. I know this is hard for me to kind of explain because it's kind of a deep topic, and I'm not the best at explaining deep things sometimes, especially just on the whim. But I want you to like this video and share it with someone you think this could be helpful for. And at the same time, don't be afraid of embracing whatever your darkness is, so you can better understand yourself and then step into the light. And that's going to enable you to better help other people step into the light. It's kind of what I've learned about what is necessary about the dark. The dark isn't bad, it's not evil. It just needs to be understood and then embraced. So hopefully that resonates with you. Hopefully that makes some sort of difference. Please like this video, comment below, but more importantly, like it and share it with someone you feel like this could be helpful for. So remember that you are good enough, that you're worth it, so go out there and defy the odds.